We're going to do very well with the Hispanic vote. We're going to do great with the women vote. If you look at in Nevada, they did the poll, and I'm leading in the Hispanic vote because I create jobs, and I will be creating tremendous numbers of jobs.
Well, perhaps the thing people are enjoying about the Donald Trump run isn't so much his PC or P incorrectness, something America is really in desperate need of these days, but the manner in which he has an answer for everything and everyone, every single time, even if he does occasionally stretch the truth like every other politician. But now we're reaching a point where the Donald has promised to start talking issues, the spot where political hyperbole always reigns and the American voter falls so quickly in and out of love with candidates. How will Trump fare when he wades into issues and has to come up with specifics that make sense? And is he making a savvy move bypassing the so-called anointed Democratic candidate and shadowboxing with her nemesis? Let's loose the political animal. First up, staff writer at the National Review, attorney, veteran of Operation Iraqi Freedom, David French, joined by commentary writer for the Washington Examiner, Jason Russell. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. David, I'm going to start with you. Donald Trump has finally said he's going to start talking policies. But he's so popular right now, with basically saying everything he's been saying for months. Does it make a difference?
Well, he's already started to talk at least one policy when he indicated yesterday that he'd be willing to continue funding Planned Parenthood.
And so that's dangerous if you think about it. From the conservative side of things, that was really a very dangerous thing to step out on.
That puts him well on the outside of the Republican field right now that is united, particularly after these videos, in defunding the $500 million that the nation's largest abortion provider gets from U.S. taxpayers. So that was, if he's dipping his toe in the waters on policy beyond he's going to build a wall and make Mexico pay for it, that's not a good start. And there's going to be serious repercussions to that if he continues to hold to that position.
How can we say, though, and I understand you with the serious repercussions, but how can we say that when the polls are out? He is still top of the polls, and he has still got commanding leads, and now even in Iowa.
Well, I think that those polls, look, you have to throw out, when you're talking about Donald Trump, you got to throw the political playbook out the window a little bit. For too long, our politics has been dominated by someone says something offensive, they apologize, they fall in the polls. This sort of politically correct playbook does not apply to him. And so he's been staying high in part because his appeal is, look, I'm not going to be politically correct. I'm going to say some things that offend some people, and I'm not going to apologize. I don't have time for political correctness. But there's a big difference between attacking him because he said this or that thing that was not PC versus attacking him on taking a position that is not a conservative position. And that's a very different thing, and that's where I think that his campaign may run into trouble.
All right, Jason, I'm going to give you a chance on Donald Trump. Here we go. We spoke with former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone on Monday. He said that despite the fact that he's no longer part of the campaign, he believes he's very secure, as a matter of fact, that Donald Trump can still win the Republican nomination. Here's what he said.
Trump needs to get back to the core conservative issues and taking on the political establishment and the career politicians to make America great again. He's the only one who's independent enough to do it by virtue of his own wealth.
Jason, do you agree? And what about reaching into the youth audience as well? Because Donald Trump has got to get to them as well.
Certainly he does, and everybody needs to, but I just don't see a way for Donald Trump to win the nomination. Right now, I'd give him about a 5% chance, maybe, of winning the nomination. We've seen this before in the past. In 2012, we had candidates rise up and then fall back down. You saw with Herman Cain and Newt Gingrich and Rick Santorum. They all had their bumps. This is just Donald Trump's bump for now. It's going to fall away, and we're going to have the old top tier of candidates come back, and one of those top tier is going to win.
In your opinion, is Donald Trump doing the right thing now? Instead of going after Hillary Clinton, now he's taking shots at Bernie Sanders. Hey, I tell you what, when you have 20,000 plus at a rally in Los Angeles, it sure will make people take notice, right?
Well, look, Bernie Sanders' events are very impressive. Certainly, anytime you can get 20,000 people to agree and come to a rally, it's impressive. But there's just little chance that Bernie's going to be the nominee either. He's just too far left. The self-described socialist is not going to be the eventual nominee of the Democratic Party, no matter how far left they've moved in the past 8 years. Hillary is definitely going to be their nominee, and he needs to stay focused on Hillary if he really does want to make a move in the general election already.
David, what Jason said, a lot of people are backing up. They're saying, look, Bernie's real nice, and it's nice to have him here, but please, Bernie, get off the lawn. You're not going to be president.
You mean Bernie Sanders, the front runner in New Hampshire now by 7 points?
There you go. That is, thank you so much for bringing that up. But as you said, it's still early, right?
Oh, it's very early. And look, the Democrats, if they perceive extreme vulnerability in Hillary Clinton, they're not going to continue to put their chips all in on Hillary Clinton. There's still room for somebody else to jump in. This is a time when right now she's on the defensive day after day after day. Bernie Sanders is on the attack, not necessarily against her, but he's got a lot of forward momentum with the progressive wing of the Democratic Party. So this is showing that she has vulnerability. There is not a Clinton juggernaut right now. And if I'm a Democratic leader, I'm starting to think, okay, do we really continue to go all in on Hillary Clinton? Or do we begin to look at a Joe Biden? Do we begin to look at somebody else as a possibility? Does Elizabeth Warren want to come riding in like the cavalry to the rescue? Those are some questions that I think the Democrats may ask themselves if Sanders continues to gain momentum. I agree. I don't think that Sanders is the Democratic nominee. But if he can expose Hillary Clinton's weaknesses, who else could?
I love the fighting words. Gentlemen, we're all out of time. We're going to have you back again to do this again because it just gets better every time. Jason Russell, David French, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, we've all seen the cap that Donald Trump's been wearing. It stops, Make America Great Again. You want one? You got one. Get your own, a $25 value free with this offer. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. This is not an endorsement of the Trump campaign, but it's a chance for Trump fans to get in there and tell everybody they want to make America great again. Just go to Newsmax.com, Trump cap, or 1-800-485-4350. Stay with us. The Hardline continues.